Hey, Coach Colin Castello here with Shot Mechanics Basketball, and today I'm going to give you my best keys to become a more accurate shooter. So being an accurate shooter is really important, right? The more accurate you are, the higher shooting percentage you shoot, the more playing time you get, right? If you look at the best shooters in the league, they're all super accurate guys. So today what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about a few of the keys that are going to help you gain accuracy instantly. So the first one we're going to talk about is what we call shoulder, hip, elbow alignment. Right? If on the shot here, our boy Gibson's getting ready to shoot the basketball, on his extension, as he shoots the ball towards the hoop, you just give us a little mock shot here and hold that follow through. You'll notice that he gets his shooting elbow, his shooting shoulder, and his shooting hip all in a straight line facing towards the basket. If he can do that, it's going to be a straight shot rather than a side-to-side shot. And that's probably the first most important part of becoming a really consistent shooter, is kind of getting that straight vertical alignment. Now, one thing you'll notice that on the catch that makes it easy is if he turns his feet just slightly. Notice that his feet are turned just a little bit here, and so that allows his shoulder to naturally fall into place. So if you can do that, it's going to help you out a ton. Now, each shooter is a little bit different. Some people like their dominant foot to be just a little more squared to the hoop, like this. But whatever it is, generally you want to have that left foot a little bit more open. It's going to be a lot easier to get that vertical line. So the next most important key is finishing in the hoop with your follow through. Now, this seems super self-explanatory, but it's something that a lot of athletes miss, right? A lot of times you see guys and they finish with their arm off to the side, or this direction, or across their face, or out. And so what you want to do is if you can finish straight with your fingers down through the hoop, it's going to make it that much more accurate. So as Gibson gets ready to shoot and he fires it up, right, when he holds his follow through, he wants his fingers straight down towards the ground, just like that, and he wants to pretend like he's putting his hand in the basket, right? You hear the old adage, hand in the cookie jar. That's not a bad adage to think about, but I like to think about it's just a little bit easier to think about sticking your whole hand right in the hoop. Boom, just like that. If you can do that, you're going to be much more accurate, and you're going to keep your shot straight rather than left to right, and that's the first step to being a consistent shooter. So again, on the follow through, you're just finishing with your hand in the hoop, and it's going to help you out a ton. So the next most important key to being an accurate shooter is your release. Now, there's generally 3 release types that I like to use, and you probably want to watch my release video just kind of get the full breakdown on those. But generally, there's 3 options. There's a middle finger release, an index finger release, and a split finger release. So the idea is no matter what release you are, you want that finger in the middle of the basketball. So Gibson's a middle finger shooter. So on the catch here, he wants to make sure that as he's going into his shot, his middle finger is going to be in a direct line in the center of the basketball. Because if he goes up to shoot and he's getting ready to release it at the top right there, if his middle finger is not in the center of the basketball, if it's off to the side, it's going to start to slide off that direction, right? Whereas if he comes up and his middle finger's in the center of the basketball, it's going to get that perfect backspin and fly straight, right? So this is probably the #1 mistake that a lot of shooters make on their release, is that they have whatever release that they're using, but it's not in the center, right? Maybe they're an index finger release, but it's off to the side, right? So the idea is you want to find which release works best for you, and then make sure that it's in the center of the basketball. That's probably the most important key to the release. So one of my favorite ways to do this is videotape your shot, and then slow it down in slow motion, because a lot of times in fast motion you can't really tell what finger you're using or where it's coming off the ball. So try to videotape your shot, and that'll help out a lot. Right, the next most important key is that you want to make sure you have a one-hand shot. Now, it's kind of the tendency of young shooters as they move out to the three-point line, they're trying to get extra power. So a lot of times what ends up happening is they use their offhand thumb to push the basketball as well, just like this. Now, a little bit of a thumb push isn't necessarily always bad. You know, some good shooters still use it, like Kyrie Irving has a little bit of a thumb push. I even have a little bit of a thumb push. But generally, you want to eliminate it as much as possible and have a one-hand shot, because that's going to keep everything straight in alignment towards the basket. So as Gibson's getting ready to shoot the basketball here and he brings it up to his set point, he wants to make sure that his thumb on his guide hand is pointing more backwards rather than up or forwards, right? So as he releases into his jump shot, he wants that guide hand to stay straight, right? If this thumb starts rotating around and his palm starts facing towards the basket, that makes it a lot more likely that he's going to push the basketball off to one side or the other. So there's kind of 2 releases with the guide hand that I like. The first one is guide or thumb straight back, just like you just had. So why don't you follow through up there with your thumb back, boom, just like this. So we think about having your fingers up towards the ceiling and then your thumb back. The other one that a lot of great shooters use is they rotate this forward, keeping the palm facing his shooting hand, but his thumb's now kind of more facing towards the sky. This is also acceptable because your thumbs, if it's rotating forward, it's still not pushing the basketball, right? So it's whatever's comfortable for you. I like the one where your thumb rotates forward for me personally, but everybody's just a little bit different, right? I like it because it can guide the ball a little bit longer. So figure out that guide hand issue, and if you can be a one-handed shooter, you're gonna be a much more accurate shooter a lot faster. All right, so if this video helped you out, go ahead and hit that like button down below, and then below that, let me know in the comment section what sort of video you want to see next. This is a channel for the people, by the people, and I run pretty much everything off a request, so leave it down below, and hopefully I'll get to it. And if you're new to Shot Mechanics, you're going to want to do two things. Number one, hit that subscription button down below because we put out a ton of videos every week and they're all going to get you better. I guarantee it. The second thing you're going to want to do is click the button above or the link in the description, get a free copy of my #1 scoring workout. This scoring workout is going to kind of revolutionize the way you train and probably increase your scoring average the very first time you use it. So I highly recommend you check that out. All right, again, I'm Coach Colin Castell with Shot Mechanics Basketball. Thanks for watching. Until next time, splash on.